What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode 26 of Buckets of Duckets. I am your host, Chase Myers in Seattle. Down there in Louisiana is my co-host, the one, Josh Watts.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is episode 26, which is double 13 or half of 52. Now, if you listen to the rest of this episode, you will be very happy and your heart will be filled with joy, love, strength, motivation, and the energy to get through the next week of your life, where we're going to find out that Donald Trump refuses to admit that he lost the election. So, listen to it twice. Listen to this episode at half speed.
Really take in this week. Like, enjoy every day of this week before the election. Like, so the last election, what I did was I went to the zoo. Before I went to the zoo that day, I looked at otters. I just lost myself in otters and foxes, and I was looking for. They didn't have turtles. I love a turtle. They didn't have turtles, which that should have let me know right then.
That should let you know where the future was going to be.
Yeah, this is not the America that I used to love. You know what I'm saying? Like things have changed. But yeah, really, like I'm just enjoying day to day right now because the next time we speak, Trump is going to be president again. And
Listen to this episode of the podcast the same way you would spend your last afternoon with, say, a favorite pet that you knew was going to die later in the day. Like if you had a dog that you've loved for 13 years and he got rabies and he ate one of your children, and you know you're going to put a shotgun shell in the back of his brain outside behind the barn. But before you do that, you want to spend that afternoon and that day taking him out and letting him run through the sunflower fields, letting him jump into the lavender flowers and chew on them, and letting him pee on all your other animals. Let him just living in the now, in the moment, because you know, come November 3rd, that proverbial shotgun shell in the back of our brains to put us down because we have rabies is going to be the re-election of Donald Trump. I don't want to be old yeller, y'all.
Go ahead and hit subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Also, whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on, rate, review, subscribe there as well. Boy,
it's going to be a fun episode, ladies and gentlemen.
It's going to be good.
We got special guest Alex Jones coming back. We're going to prank call some of the Sandy Hook survivors and yell at them that their children weren't real.
They're not even real kids.
None of them were real kids.
They're imaginary kids. Okay,
we got an actor that was hired to pretend to be the gorilla Harambee's trainer because that gorilla never existed either. It was a smoke screen by the United States government so that you weren't watching when they replaced all the birds with drones. 5G drones. Sound familiar? Alex is here this week to clear this up for us. So
yeah,
thanks a lot. And after that, we're going to have Dubstep Lyrical come on and clear up everything Alex Jones said with his own Save the Children stuff, you guys.
Yeah, that stuff. Also,
where we go, where one of us goes, everybody goes. You know they're saying.
Is that who's saying is that?
It's all those people that are saying all the Save the Children. They had that WG1 Jive G2. And whenever you read it out,
I don't know, man.
All the letters means where we go one. Everybody goes.
We're in this there
together
with me
to save the children.
So
children. It's a lot of letters. It's a lot of letters.
Okay.
You've never seen that? Where we go one, we go. Where we go one, we go all.
No.
That's
you always find out about those type things like a little bit before me. Like you explained to me what QAnon was on here, and it was like right after you said it. Then it was like my eyes were open and I saw it everywhere. I was like, oh no, this shit is taking over.
You shook that Louisiana off you when you went up to Seattle, and it's not permeating through your skin now. We were walking the kids around the neighborhood on their leashes earlier. And we saw a guy with a fucking outside like pudding because the hurricane just came and it didn't wash away his house. So the first thing he had to do was get his Q flag back up out there. We walked by, my 2-year-old yelled at him, "You fucking asshole!" It was beautiful. Yeah. You're gonna have fun editing that sound out. I gotta stop.
Yeah, yelling. Be easy. These mics are a little bit hotter.
My bad, guys. I got a new mic and I'm really excited about it.
Matching mics.
Look at that.
Mics.
Matching mics for Magic Mics. Yeah, get in there. You
Dude,
saw that? You saw that little
dude,
move?
a lot of shoulder
Look,
work.
I haven't wore
Shoulder work.
I haven't wore a different shirt this week.
Man's got a tie-dye shirt on. People, it's worth it to watch it on YouTube. I'm not gonna lie.
I dressed
We look
nice
better.
this
By the
week.
way, I kicked the shit out of that sickness. Get the fuck out of here, yo. I'm back looking pretty. Have me looking all like tough and baggy-eyed for 2 weeks. I'm back. Okay, I'm back. I got energy. Last week I had to hold make sure I had breath.
We had to pause the episode every 5 minutes for Chase to have a good cry spell last week. Like in the middle of jokes, we would have to pause the recording so he could go cry. He has a big old one of those body pillows that's shaped like One Direction guy, and he'll go lay on them and he has a good hard fashioned cry, like a good hard rocking your balls, making your dick hard cry, and then it'll come back. It's out of system. We get to joking again. But the point of all that, children, is don't live in fear of a disease. COVID attacked Chase, and what happened to it? COVID got his knees busted and got humbled. His back was broken and he was humbled. And now Chase is immune to all diseases. Every disease in the world, he's immune to.
You can't get me. There's nothing you can get me.
That's a fact. I read that on Trump's website.
Dude, I'm walking right into a pack of pneumonia, bro. I'm walking right into it, and I dare you. You can't get on me, bro.
I've been finding the dirtiest water I can and just begging the mosquitoes to come bite me. Just straight out that water. Give me East Nile, give me West Nile, give me both Niles. I don't even give a fuck.
I'm flying to the West Nile, bro. I'm diving right in there, bro.
There's an episode of one of my favorite dudes on 90 Day Fiancé is this dude named Paul, and he's a big old bitch. And that's why he's my favorite.
Tell me about him.
All right. There's a part, the first day he goes to Brazil to meet this beautiful young Brazilian woman that he's going to marry and take out of her hard life.
As far as I'm concerned, Brazil is like batting 1,000 when it comes to gorgeous women. Like either they have the best PR or they truly are all beautiful. Like
Brazil, Colombia, and Spain. I went to Spain when I was in the Air Force. We went to Spain and we were in Morona and Rota, Spain, each for like a week. And this is in 2000. And look, I love American women. I love all women, but like maybe they don't let the ugly people out late at night.
That's what I'm saying. They got good PR. They only let me see beautiful people, I guess. Like,
you never see. Or the week I was there, you didn't see like they don't walk around in sweatpants and tennis shoes. Like everybody was always dressed. Oh man, that was a beautiful country. Men, women, grandmas, grandpas. Everybody over there is fuckable. Like just to the nine. So
everybody can get it. Whole country can get it.
The whole fucking country. There's this guy, Paul, and he goes to Brazil and he's going to meet this beautiful young woman and he wants to impress her. And she's like, let's go swim in the water right here. And he freaks the fuck out because he's like a super germaphobe. And so he puts on like, she's in a bikini. And he goes in and puts on like these hip waiter pants that go up to his nipples. He puts a condom and a sock on his dick to keep anything from swimming up his urethra to bite him because he thought he heard that somewhere. And like he slowly walks on the water and he looks like he's gonna shit himself. He's like, and then she's like, "Why are you being?" And she splashes him to like get him to play, and it gets in his face, and he's like, "Ah, ah, ah!" And he fucking loses his mind and like runs out of the water, and he's like, in one of the little interviews, he's like, I hope when I get dysentery and die or whatever he says, I hope that she knows I did it to impress her.
Whoa, what a hero that man is.
I don't think you impressed her at all, my man. This dude walks around in whenever in the town that she lives her whole life and grew up every day, his respectful way of living there was he wore a mesh bodysuit the whole time he was there with a bulletproof vest.
And so, to
walk around the town that she lived in her whole life.
Oh, right, because he flew there, like to see. I got you. I forget like the premise. I still haven't watched it. I know it's the greatest trash show of all time.
It's so great, but once you watch it, your whole life changes. You look at people differently. You start comparing them to like characters from the show, and you just instantly have like I'll never talk.
You sound like you're going through it right now.
I'll never talk to a woman named Darcy just because the one on that show. If anybody ever said, "Hey, my name is Darcy," I would unload 7 seasons worth of hate and bile onto them, even though they're not the Darcy from the show, just so they know. Every
Darcy
Darcy in the
don't
world,
deserve that, bro.
She does.
These poor
Don't you
Darcys
fucking
out there.
No. Hey, we've been doing this podcast for 6 years. I got a goddamn reminder today from Facebook that we've been Facebook friends for 9 years or some shit.
And that's the official day.
Don't you take Darcy's side.
That's the official day, dude. 9 years on Facebook.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's wild, dude.
I was telling Michelle, like, for real, the first time we did a podcast was 2014.
Yeah.
Or 13, somewhere in there. A long fucking time ago.
Dude, 1997, I remember.
I was 17 years old, and we logged on to ebombsworld.board.com.
Put it out there. Yeah, dude. I'm trying to remember, like, the first time I saw you was at the station in Baton Rouge, which was the open mic that we always went to. It's the weekly show there. Which, are they doing shows, by the way? Are they back open?
Yeah, I think so. I think, yes.
Okay.
Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the hurricane just happened, so stuff was changed, so I'm not sure, but I think they were starting back up.
Bro, hurricanes are fucking wrecking y'all right now, dude. Like, it's
every
couple
weeks. I am so fucking tired of picking up all the shit in my backyard because I have 2 feral children and all their little fucking balls and scooters and slides and playhouses and bullshit I gotta pick up every fucking time so some bullshit storm doesn't blow it into my fuckhole neighbor's backyard and they get to keep it, or they come yell at me about my kids' things smelling like weed or whatever the fuck they want. Fucking, I'm tired of it. It's
so
done.
What? Your kids smoke weed. So what?
Yeah, so the fuck what? My kids are cool. Tell your nerd ass kids to light up and shut the fuck up. Maybe grow a sack and be cool. All right? I see him doing the homework. What's he doing right now? He's doing homework? Fucking dweeb. Yeah, I called you kid a dork. So what?
And a
Tell him not to walk by my house with a book sack.
He should know better.
I just yell out the window, dweeb!
Dude, it's crazy. Y'all like, it's like, what, Zeta? What the fuck? Like, it's Greek alphabet now, right? Or some shit?
Yeah, dude. It's enough. It's enough of them.
It's enough. That's more than enough. Okay?
It's enough. But yeah, the station is doing shows again.
Dude, yeah. First time I saw you there. Okay, first time I saw you there. Open mic there. You came in. You pretty fucked up. It was a different time in your life.
Yeah. Not when he says fucked up, I went through a period in my life where the VA prescribed me stuff and I just took it without question. So, and I took a lot of it without a lot. I mean,
it's a doctor. Why? Yeah. Why would you not just keep giving it to me?
It's a doctor and a guy I work with's cousin. So it seems like,
dude, it doesn't get more official than that. Like,
bro, you mean to tell me that dude bought an Ultima on a salary of lies? I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing they check, you go into a Nissan dealership, is your honesty levels. Credit score, honesty level. They find out you're some bullshit artist, you're not getting a Nissan, bro.
Yeah,
get the fuck out of here.
You gotta take that Scientology test.
Take your dumb ass to Pontiac or a Zuzu, bro. We ain't putting up with that shit. Ain't no Nissan for you. Get your lying ass on. Get your lying ass in a Subaru.
We're Nissan.
And they stand at the door too, bro. Nah, get the fuck.
Nah, we have integrity here. So you were in a different place at that time. You come in.
I'm glad I'm not living anymore.
Yeah, dude, you're way different now. You came in. You just loud as shit. Like you came in. You came in. My old best friend. You know him. Like y'all used to work. And the weirdest coincidence of all time.
Yeah,
is that
I stole that dude's best friend.
Yeah, the two of you knew each other independently of me, before me and you even knew each other.
Yeah.
And so you walk up to him and have a loud ass conversation during somebody's set about.
No, that's about right.
And then you go on stage. You had like a crumbled up paper. Like you had like a crumbled up piece of paper. And you didn't take the mic out the mic stand, and you were doing one-liners, and you were looking at the paper and going back, and you fucking crushed it. and then and he came off stage, had another loud ass conversation with somebody, and then I don't know. Then you wandered off into the woods. I don't really know what happened to you after
I
that.
probably left.
But that was my first Josh Watts experience.
That's really funny.
I could have never predicted at that moment. I was like, that's going to be my best friend in the whole world pretty soon.
The first time I remember seeing you, we were at, do you remember Long Branch?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, dude.
There was a show in Baton Rouge run in assuredly it had to be a condemned building.
Dude, what was that? And we were in the back room of the condemned building. Like there was
the back room of a condemned building in the back parking lot of a shopping center in the back of Baton Rouge. Like here's the front of the shopping center where you're parked to go to the stores. You have to go all the way around the side to where like the loading bays of the real stores would be, and just like there's a fucking door, and you go in. And there's two lights.
No lights. It's the darkest like parking lot too. You're like,
you better hope you fucking find where you're going, because
you're like, there's no way a business is here because they're not trying to advertise. Clearly, they're not trying to let people know that there's a business.
When they started the open mic there, no shit, I got a little flashlight on my keychain to get from my car to the building.
Yeah, dude, I did the Wolverine claws on my keys every time I walked through there.
It was a weird little shithole, and we went in there, and at the time I would say I was being bullied, but I had some nemesis.
You had some heat comedy on you.
Yeah, I had some heat with some of the comedians, with some people. I'm not calling them comedians.
No, because they're not.
I had some heat.
They did comedy for about a year and a half longer after that, and then, dude, never touched stage again.
I got bullied out of 3. I quit comedy for like 3 months.
Yeah.
So anyway, I show up at this show, and I'm really uncomfortable because I don't really like. I don't like the guys that are there, and I know they don't like me. And then I saw a guy that I worked with at Best Buy come in, and he came in with this chubby, goofy looking dude who had a shaved head and still had just the chin goatee.
Yeah.
And like I remember like I used to have the chin goatee, but like a couple of years before. And I was like, who's this dude? And then you went on stage, and I don't remember exactly what jokes you told, but you were the first person that I had seen that, oh fuck, he knows what he's doing. Like I could tell you were raw, but I could tell right away that like, oh shit, he's not just saying, like you didn't just, you did, you performed. You didn't, at that point, everybody was just, like you said, I wouldn't even look at people. I would look down at the ground and drag my feet and just kind of into the mic. And you were already like taking the mic out. And you look like somebody who rehearsed it, but I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, no, I definitely did. From day one, I meant business. I had all this like, I was 21 whenever I did my first set, and I
was 30.
Damn, yeah, that's wild. And I still had like all this like from growing up as an athlete and stuff, and like this, you fucking push and you do. I was gonna attack this new career and everything. And so from day one going on stage, I was in my head building my special. Like I was like, well, here you go. Like I'm gonna get this 5 minutes together, and then I'm gonna get 10, then I'm gonna get 20, and I'm gonna and in 6 months I'm gonna have an hour. I'm gonna be touring around the country telling everybody kiss my ass. I'm gonna have Comedy Central special probably in 2 years. God, like at least 2 years, 2 maybe 3.
I'll be on HBO within the.
I think I'm gonna do Letterman first.
I probably won't do an HBO special if Netflix offers. I'll say no.
Yeah, Integrity. I'm not. Yeah, so I think I'm probably gonna do Letterman first, and then I'm gonna try to knock them all out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe do Ferguson. That was like where my head was. Like
you were one of the ones though that everybody else like at that time, comedy for most people was let's all hang out and drink and then get on stage real quick in between drinking. Yeah. Or like I had it timed out to where I would take my Xanax. Like I would find out when I was going on stage and time I would take my Xanax like 20, 25 minutes before. So like 4 or 5 sets before I had to go up to try to calm my nerves because I was so nervous then. which is funny because now I'm more nervous in a bar if I'm not talking into a microphone. Like if I'm hanging out for a show, I'm more uncomfortable than whenever I perform.
No, for sure.
But everybody else was always like, it was a joke to see how drunk they could get before they went up, or like, I don't know. They would always, you clearly had it put together. And I remember thinking, I loved, even though people, I had a lot of heat on me, and some of the heat was warranted, and most of it wasn't. But I remember seeing you and being like, oh, I'm going to be friends. I need to be friends with that dude. Because, no shit, your best friend that I knew before I knew you was like the cool guy that I worked with at Best Buy. Like, he was one of the guys that I liked to hang out with.
He was so funny.
Okay, I worked loss prevention, and he was usually in the front of the store, and we would just talk, like, just bullshit and stuff, just waiting on people or whatever. And he was one of the reasons that I went to that show, is because he was like, oh, I might go check it out. And I thought, oh, he's going to be one of the dudes that's really good at comedy. Like, he's going to be awesome at it. And then, like, 3 weeks, and he never came back.
You know what happened? This is what happened. So this was, 9-10 years ago, right? So
this is a friend that Chase grew up with his whole, like, this is his childhood.
Yeah, this is my childhood best friend. We just, we got older. We just changed a lot. He
number 2 now, bro. Number 2.
I still love him. I still care about him and stuff, but we don't have anything in common anymore. Yeah. But we started stand up literally, like, I performed maybe 2 or 3 times. I convinced him to, hey, dude, this is our dream. And,
he seemed prepared in the way that you were. So
yeah,
but now I think it was you. Maybe you helped him, or I don't know. But now it's now I see you're still doing it.
So yeah,
he's just a fucking fraud.
With a happy life and a family and a good job.
Yeah. Congratulations.
What a fucking idiot. Just to make that turn. Why don't you be a 31-year-old?
I got a podcast, bro.
Yeah, why don't you be a 31-year-old dude sitting in his bedroom with a backdrop and lights on him talking into his computer to his best friend? Why don't you do that? Why don't you do that for a living?
Baby or whatever.
Yeah, fine. All right. I moved across the country for a thing that doesn't exist anymore, but it's fine. Yep. It's fine. Yeah, so he starts coming out, and this is, so he's done maybe 3 or 4 sets at this point. He tells me this story. He was like, dude, this guy that I work with got this girl's number and like immediately sent her a dick pic. And we thought that was hilarious. And we just started like, ha, whatever, joking about it. And this is like very, this is 10 years ago. This is very early dick pic. Like, this is fresh ground. You know what I'm saying? And so... I had this premise of like, oh, well, ladies aren't going to get flowers anymore. Now it's just going to be dicks. That's what they get. And that was like...
It wasn't me that sent that dick pic.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
We do need to explain that.
Now it sounds like it was me, and I was like, no.
No, just
we just talked about my anniversary in one episode, and the next episode. No, not me.
No, just some guy. I don't know who it was, but somebody that worked there.
I was in butthole pics.
And so... that was my only the pucker, baby. That's all that's out there for you. And so that was my take on it. Was like, ladies aren't going to get flowers anymore; they get dicks now. Ha ha ha! Right? I
remember that joke.
Yeah, he was just going to tell the story. Like, that was, that's his story. Tell that story. But he thought that me having any material about dick pics was somehow people were going to think that we wrote it together, or that he stole it from me because I performed more than he did, or that I couldn't
after your third open mic or whatever, too.
Or that I couldn't come up with original material. That's what he told me. He was like, dude, if you can't come up with I was like, dude, this is like, we're not touching on, like, literally the only thing that's the same is that a dick pic happened in both of, but like, dude,
it's
do you think you have the only...
how important you think it is when you're first starting out?
And it's so weird to say, but like, literally that was kind of like a little bit of a blow up, and we kind of quit fucking with each other. He quit coming to the shows, and then it was just awkward because it was always this big thing of like, I'm chasing this. This is what I actually have always wanted to do, and I didn't quit just over a fucking disagreement or whatever.
Right.
And and there's always this kind of like, anytime that we would hang out after that, it was always like in the room. That's
weird.
That's how that ended. Isn't that weird?
What's funny is that dude, I had done a couple shows in the early 2000s, like a couple open mics and stuff. I had performed on a festival I think I've talked about, like way early in the afternoon, on a festival, and a couple of times like early 2000s.
Yeah.
So I considered myself a comedian, and I had lied about still doing. I'm a comedian for years, and then I worked with this guy who was like, "Oh, really?" Because I'm gonna go to some of the open mics. To where I was like, "Oh, fuck." I guess I gotta like at least go and try it now because
Yeah.
I've been saying that I do it, and then I went back, and the second I tried it again, I fucking loved it.
Dude, that is so crazy that my childhood best friend is
Yeah,
the one that convinced you to get
yeah,
back into comedy, which allowed us to meet each other, which
yeah.
is now we're 17 years into a podcast. Like that's
That's
fucking
fucking great.
crazy.
It is weird when you think about that whole cycle.
I've never even thought about it like all that way. Like that's wild.
I haven't either, and I'm still hung up
This
because
was supposed to happen, bruh. These fucking Duckets was supposed to be
it
gotten.
was destined from above. When I started talking about Long Branch, I got anxious because dude, I was, whether rightfully or not, I was picked on a lot at the beginning by dudes and specifically at that place.
Yeah, I
And
remember, dude. You had a mark on you for sure. Like,
they would
uh,
go on stage and make fun of me from the stage, and I'm like 2 weeks in, a month in, and like these dudes are. Whenever you see somebody who has material, when you first start, you're like, oh, they're like a real comedian. They're like actually. So you respect them. You're like, oh shit, they're
yeah,
real.
you don't know. Like when you first get in, you don't really understand the levels that people are at. So
Yeah.
like,
And so they run a show. You're like, oh
oh
fuck.
my
If they
god, these people,
they
yeah,
run a show.
they must be connected. These people, they're out there getting it. Like I saw there was this one guy, I can't even remember his name, but he would pop up every now and then, and his big thing was that he was on Last Comic Standing, right? And that's how they always. And then I as I slowly got to know him and everything, and I realized like, oh, he waited in line and did a
Yeah.
minute at an audition that didn't get aired, and
Yeah.
he's running around. He took a picture with the Last Comic Standing sign and posted it as his profile pic. And yeah, and it's funny how you start to get in there and like learn those little things of like, oh man, some of these people are delusional. Or some of these people
I
are so, you're so desperate to have something real like a credit that you'll
Yep.
stretch stuff like that. We've seen people that have been like extras in movies, and I'm guilty of this. I was in The Butler for like all of 3 or 4 seconds, and for a long time I was like, yeah, I was fucking in a movie with Oprah. Like, yeah,
The first time you introduced yourself to me, you said I was in a movie with Oprah. I'm
hmm
Chase Myers,
yeah, I had
and then
business
you did like
cards.
this, and you made me shake your hand. I remember one time though, for real, these guys, I at the beginning, when I was on, I'm trying to think of how to. The pills and the medications that I were on made me a very different person to where I was much more emotional and couldn't handle. Like I remember crying in the parking lot of that Long Branch because those dudes were so mean to me
Fuck, bro.
on stage, and like I can't just go punch them in the face. They run comedy. I'll never be able to perform again. I got
I'll
to act
never
like it's
be,
funny, and I think
never be
it's funny. Ha
allowed.
ha ha. And I, for real, like several times, and then I broke my foot, and I couldn't drive. And instead of trying to come up with any other way to get to the show, which I easily could have done, I just stopped doing comedy for those 3 months because those dudes were so mean to me. And it it's embarrassing that I let some hack ass dudes that didn't perform comedy for like 2 months after, like 2 months after that, they were both gone forever. That are hack ass shit comics run me off, but it also this is going to be hard to believe, but to a certain extent made me try to be nicer to new comics coming up. I'm not always. If you're shitty or disrespectful, I would call you out immediately. But I always tried to be nicer to newer comics because I remember how shitty that made me feel.
Yeah.
But even on all that medication and not having the wherewithal and the mind and the fortitude or whatever that I do now, where I would snap their necks and then fuck their whole families. Instead of that, I just went in the parking lot and cried. And I can't. It's God. It's embarrassing that they ever let me get that I ever got like that. But it's also that was one of the things that made me get off of medication, off of pills, like want to get off them was because even I knew in my right mind, like I should beat the shit out of these dudes. Like, how am I getting bullied? How am I getting bullied by like overweight 45-year-old like Dungeons and Dragon nerds?
Dude, Dungeons and Dragons was coming out of my mouth when you said that. That's exactly
Oh man. And
like these motherfuckers were 40-year-old men talking about Harry Potter all the time.
Yeah,
like
dude, yeah. And I mean, like when I say bullied me too, like no shit, they would say things at me, like throw stuff when I'd walk by.
I didn't realize. I knew it was bad, and I was at that one show where they were fucking with you, but I didn't know like to the extent that they went with it. Like they were really trying to like bury you.
Yeah, they would go up on stage after me and run me down, like to those shows. They would tell people not to book me on like the $5 4-minute spot I was going to get for a weekend show. I mean, they were like really made me feel unwanted. But even with the medication and shit making my brain as weak-willed as it was, I still had it in me that was like, these dudes want me to quit so bad, I'm not gonna. And yep. I was, for that 3 months, I didn't do comedy. And I don't know if you remember this. It's one of the few things, my life in that time is a real haze because of all the medicines. But I remember running into you at a Taco Bell.
Yep.
And you were like, I haven't seen you at shows in a long time. And I told you I quit and why. And dude, I didn't know you that well at all. And you said, oh, fuck that, man. Those guys, fuck that, man. Those guys are assholes. You should keep doing it. You're funny. They're just being twats. And I was like, oh, all right. You were the first, that was the first positive thing.
I remember
and
that.
Then I went back right after that. I was at the next open mic after that.
I remember that. It was so random running into you there. And also, like, up until that point, we really hadn't talked. Like, we had just been places at the same time, but we had, like, that's the first time that we were kind of, like, forced to, like, hey, what's up, man? What the fuck? Like, yeah. And, but no, for real, I mean, I always thought you were funny, so.
You were the funniest comedian. I mean, Howard Hall and Mike Honoré obviously were the funniest, but they were on another, they had been doing it forever to me when I started out. So you were somebody new like me, and I thought you were funny too. So I wanted to be your friend. I wanted to pick your head about it and stuff. So whenever you were like, nah, fuck it, you should come back. I remember telling Michelle like 100 times, you heard that? I should go back. He's funny. I should go back. I should. And then I did. I went to the next open mic because you told me to go back. And I got they bullied me for a while.
Yeah,
after
they still
that.
giving you shit. I remember, dude. Yeah.
Oh, dude, they would steal my drink tickets. I didn't drink much, but they would take my drink tickets from me. Not like dunk me in the toilet, swirly me, but like comics be in a circle talking. I would walk up and they would close the circle off. Like they would step in front of me and close the circle off. And just
that's so wild,
right? Just real shit. And then part of it was because with the pills and stuff, I've said this before, I was using Twitter one-liners and stuff. Some of it was on purpose, but honestly, a lot of it, when you get that deep into Xanax and depression medications, everything just kind of blurs together. Like maybe I read that on Twitter or maybe I wrote it. People are laughing at it, so I'm just going to keep saying it. Was pretty much where it was. And then that whole big blow up we've talked about 100 times on here in Mobile, where I got kicked out of all the comedy groups for being a joke thief and blackballed. And I went back the next week. I went and did a show. Like after being blackballed on a Saturday, I was back the next Wednesday at a show. And
no, let me correct you. The next time you were on stage was in Hammond, doing a guest spot for Theo Vaughn. Whenever
fuck, that's right.
Yeah, because I was opening for Theo, and you, this was like right after it happened. You like did like 5 minutes there, and then you showed up at the station the next week. Yeah, like you had performed like twice, like right after that, with like brand new shit, whole new, yeah.
I decided then, whenever I got called out for stealing the jokes, we've probably been over this 100 times, but I decided then that the one-liners.
Let me speak for you for a second. When he says this shit, dude, he is talking about like as the babiest of comics. He's talking about as like 6 months in, trying to make his way, did a fucking meme joke like shit like that. Like this is not like this
Oh
is
yeah,
not
this is
Josh as we're saying. Like
2014. Yeah,
this is fucking
13,
long ass
14,
time ago. Yeah,
13, 2013. So whatever,
probably yeah, somewhere like that. Yeah, I
a
mean
long time ago.
like even earlier, honestly.
A long time ago. I'm very
Yeah,
good at comedy now.
yeah.
But what happened, I decided then, like, fuck it, I'm tired of it. And because all the one-liner stuff become a blur, I decided I'm just gonna start telling stories. And I'm gonna tell stories that actually happened to me or make up details of them and make it myself. And then that's when I started finding my footing in comedy and started gaining my confidence. But I remember going to the show that Wednesday at the station, and one of the guys who ran that show was one of the people who had bullied me for a long time. And he came up and said something shitty about what he had heard happen in Mobile. And I took his beer out of his hand and I dumped it on the floor and I handed him back the empty cup. And I didn't say anything about it. Nothing. And I never said another word about it. And
Set that tone.
they never picked on me again after that, ever. We still had arguments, but there was no more of that bullying. That bullying stuff.
It was a cool thing to watch, man, because you definitely had some stank on you to begin with, and then
it was hard, dude.
You so like fought through that, proved so like to the point to where it's. I kind of am upset that we even brought it up on the show as being even part of your history, because you 100 times over rededicated yourself, understood like from that moment on. Everything that you've done has been 100% Josh Watts and has been a representation of like your life and who you are. And like you became like a comic at that moment. And like the people that were giving you shit literally do not do comedy. They do not do comedy anymore. And yeah, and you are still fucking standing. And I always respected you for watching you go through that. Man. Because that was a motherfucker way to start comedy.
Look, I used to hate to bring it up, but now honestly, I'm proud of it. It's something I went through, and if nothing else, it proves that I'm willing to learn. It proves that I love doing comedy and that I want to keep doing it. That I actually care about it, because man, if it wasn't for Corey Mack, I never would have gotten back on a stage.
Right.
And
he was hosting the Theo show. Yeah.
Corey Mack would put me on any show he had, and he told me that. But the other open mics, I had gotten to a point where I just signed up and nobody was comfortable enough to tell me I couldn't go on. So I got that window open, and I'm telling you, you give me 2 minutes, I'm funny and I'll prove it. Just give me that 2 minutes. And I fought through it. And in our small scene, I won people back over doing it. And I don't know, I'm not embarrassed about it anymore. I didn't mean for it to go into all of that, but I'm not embarrassed about it anymore. It helped me love comedy more. It helped me, you helped me through a lot of that, and I think it helped solidify our friendship. You know, like sure. I learned a lot from it.
It is weird that was also, I mean, that was when we were friends, like becoming friends. It was, fucking 9 years
having you be my friend. You, Mike, Howard Hall, Corey Mack, the biggest names in our scene, and and Greg Hamilton. God, I don't want to forget Greg. The funniest, biggest names in our scene stayed behind me and supported me, and that kind of helped take some of the stank off, Yeah. And now I'm just the funniest motherfucker around,
walking the planet.
I just throw my fucking comedy dick out.
Here it is. Yeah, it's a weird scene that we came up in because it's so small. Like the point that you're making about like wanting to be nice to new comics, it's literally there's like 20 of us. There's like 25 of us, and like when it's that few, like man, it's why does it need to be shitty? Because it's always gonna be shitty. There's 2 shows a week or whatever. The same 20 people are gonna show up. Like out here in Seattle, dude. Whenever like there is definitely a core group of comics that are younger than me and stuff that I definitely like reached out to and became friends with and stuff. But whenever I would go to open mics, whenever I was first like trying to let people know who I was around here, like dude, literally it would be like a different 30 comics at every show that I went to. Like it would like dude, it's insane. Like hundreds of comedians out here. Like,
That's
and so,
that's so exciting to me to think of that, man. And I can't wait till the kids are a little bit older and I can travel up
dude,
there
yeah,
with you to do, man. Because that feeling of going somewhere and winning everybody over because you're funny,
mhm.
that's one of the best feelings in the world. To go to a bar where the people that booked you or a show where the people that booked you aren't sure about you, but they know your friend who said you're funny, and then a whole bar or showroom full of people that have no idea who you are, winning all them over, dude. Best fucking thing in the
Yeah, it's
world.
a superpower, man.
It's the best. I
Not
miss it.
fair.
I miss it so
Not fair
fucking
for us to
much.
walk around this charismatic. Yeah, dude.
I miss it
Man,
so much.
I'm getting excited. Next week, I'm performing November 6th and 7th at the Mill Casino in Coos Bay, Oregon. People come out. You know the situation. I've explained it week after week. I'm gonna play nice this week because I'm going in. I'm gonna go in with good attitude. All right. I
Stay
give it my
positive.
best. Stay positive. I'm bringing some some backup. As I said, I got some friends coming. I'm really excited to hang out with them. By the way, it's cool. That's getting closer. Uh, yeah, dude, but I this week I got to sit down and like actually write, and I'm kind of like excited about it. I'm like, oh shit,
Are you
I got shows a coming.
are you nervous about like the rust or the
Yeah,
because
yeah. It's
that's also part of the fun is testing yourself and like that's like that's a pretty big test to go as long as you have without it and to kind of shake that.
yeah, it's so in July. So it went March. I didn't perform again until July, and then I'm not performing again until the beginning of November.
Mm,
That's what my year has been. And
goddamn.
and after, by the way, dude, I can't explain. Me and Travis Nelson, my roommate, hilarious comedian, 6'9", big old dick. Me and him talk all the time about like, dude, we were just about to have it all. Like we were so close, dude. My January and February were fucking packed. I did 20 something shows. Uh, both of them, I mean, crazy. Like, was really like out on the road doing. I was in different. I think I performed in like 7 different states in January or something, and like it was like all like, fuck yeah, dude, here it comes. I'm buying a new laptop. I'm buying a new microphone.
Does it have a plug on the side?
I'm paying thousands of dollars for a new website. I'm doing all this shit, and then everything just crashed, just fucking crashed right then. It's crazy.
But I'm gonna tell you what, 200 something thousand people might have died. Everybody's comedy careers might have ended, but that gave you the time and energy to focus on this podcast. And I'm gonna tell you what, that turned out great for me.
I mean,
So
do it all over again. To be honest with you, do it all
look,
over
I'm
again.
just
But so when I performed in July, it was literally like, so it's the way that it's 2 shows on Friday, 2 shows on Saturday, and it was like by the 4th show, I'd finally like, oh cool, I feel comfortable again, and then that was just it
then it's
though.
over.
Yeah, then it's over, and now and I haven't performed until next week. It will be the next time, so it's gonna be weird because it's like I'm knocking the rust off, but then like for what? Like
Right.
I don't have anything after that. So it's so weird because like that's so much with like touring and performing is like building your show and like okay, I'm gonna do this here because I know on Thursday I'm gonna be performing here and I'll try this here and
Right.
work that out that weekend and 2 weeks from now I got this big show and and like you have all these like plans of like how you're gonna get there and now it's just like I mean, I'm fucking glad to do it, and I'm gonna every time you ask me, Mill Casino in Coos Bay, Oregon, I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna be a big
He's
fucking
in,
baby
dude.
about it. I'm gonna be a big baby about it for months
I'm
going
gonna
in,
complain the whole time, but I'm gonna
but
come.
I'm gonna
I'll be
do
there.
it. And when I get on stage, I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best, and I'm gonna try not to call people names. Look,
I
okay,
love that you have to include that. I'm gonna try to not call people names.
okay. That's the plan. Okay, I love comedy, and I want to do it again. Yeah, man, it's I miss
I
it.
There is Lafayette has started doing their weekend shows at the Worst Beer Garden, an outdoor venue, and I will do a show before
You got to.
2020 is over.
Yeah, you have to.
I can't not perform within the year, but I'm still really nervous. Like my dad has real bad heart stuff going on right now, so like the
Oh, I
doctor's
didn't
like
know that. Man.
he can't possibly risk getting sick. So we're not going to be able to do family Thanksgiving this year together. And like I don't want to get too far into it, but you don't know how many you have left,
Yeah,
you know? And to think that maybe a time I don't anyway. So it's been a rough year and I don't want to go out. I need that.
for sure.
That might not make sense to anybody who's never done comedy, but I need to go out on a high note. Now, what's going to happen? I'll take the mic and bomb my dick into the dirt, probably.
But that'll be exhilarating too. That'll be
Yeah,
the rush of that will be
I
because
will
this is
jinx
what
it. I'll jinx it right now. I haven't bombed in years because I'm generally funny enough that I can pull it up at the end. And if you pull it up, it doesn't count as a bomb. Now, having said that, I'm going to get booed off the stage probably the next time. I'm going to try my new real political character.
character. You do a character.
Yeah, dude, I'm doing Manga Man, and no, I am a little nervous, but I just said I never bomb, and now I have to make sure.
I heard Sinbad I'm pretty sure on Pete Holmes' podcast say that he's never
Dude,
bombed in his life.
I believe it.
If
Of
anybody was going to
everybody,
say
I
that,
believe it.
I 100% believe it. He told a story that he went to a NACA convention, didn't sign up, just showed up, saw like it's the fucking 80s or whatever, early 80s, and so like there's no computer system and shit like that, and he just like saw somebody's name on a name tag because they had all the name tags like laid out on a table and said like I'm that person, and they're like okay here, gave him that. He went up, performed, and booked like 60 colleges and was like, oh yeah, I'm Sinbad, by the way. I'm not fucking Larry
Dude,
Charles or whatever. Like
that's all right. So when I was a little kid, I would get every once in a while I would get to stay up past my bedtime and I would sit in my parents' bed and watch their TV with them when my dad would watch the Sinbad specials. And I would get to stay up late and I would watch my dad laugh so hard at Sinbad. And like I didn't understand, but as a kid, and I'm talking like I mean a little kid, the faces that he made and stuff were enough to make me laugh.
you just knew he was funny. You're like, whatever he's doing, that's funny.
And then as I got older, and Sinbad is one of the best comics
No,
maybe ever.
I feel like people know that. Maybe I don't know if they
I
realize.
don't think they do.
I guess you're right. I feel like
I don't
comics
think
know
they do.
that. I don't know if the world realizes how great of a comedian he's been over his career.
Pound for pound, Sinbad does the same. Sinbad does the same thing that Howard Hall always impressed me with, where
Bro,
that he can adjust his material. No crowd is not a Howard Hall crowd.
our
I don't
buddy
even know how
Howard,
to.
yeah, our buddy Howard Hall in Baton Rouge. He's a comedian down there. He's a fucking murderer, and dude, I've seen more material out of him than anybody. He is always doing something new. It is always brand new. He told us on our first version of this podcast when we interviewed him.
Yep.
He told us that he, for the first however many months, didn't know that you were like allowed to repeat. He thought that that was like the thing, and so he just never. He was just throwing material away for months without even thinking about it, and he still kind of does it. Like yeah.
Howard Hall is one of the few comedians around here that I saw that was that made me think, oh, maybe I'm not good at this. Because Howard could tweak his material, or like he has totally different material depending on what kind of crowd he's in front of. He could tell the same blowjob joke to a bar of frat kids and to a nursing home and tweak it just the slightest bit, and it murders everywhere. It's crazy. But Sinbad is the same way with every crowd. You know who else is like that? Jeff D. New Orleans comedian Jeff D. Yeah, bitches.
Yeah,
Jeff D. I love Jeff. He's the same way though.
I worked with Jeff in Chattanooga, Tennessee. For New Year's I did a goddamn
no shit.
New Year's
you worked with
Eve
Jeff
show. Yeah.
D?
You don't remember that?
Fuck.
Yeah.
No,
I featured for him at the Catch in Chattanooga, and
see, all right. Hold on. I want to hear your story, but that is crazy to me. That's how good Jeff is. He's not a normal club touring comic, but he'll headline.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
I
he
thought
had.
you were going to say like y'all were featuring. I didn't think he was that established.
No,
Of
he's in
course
at
he
that
is. Yeah,
club.
of course he is. Of course he is.
He's in enough to where he was like, I'm bringing this kid from Seattle that I used to work with in Louisiana. Like that was, I didn't send them a tape or anything. I got in off of Jeff's
Damn.
name, off of Jeff putting his name on me, and I got rebooked until fucking China 19 came around and ruined everything.
There comes Chase's first edit right there.
I was trying to think of a different way of saying it.
But that last episode was like 45 minutes shorter than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I did some work on that one, man. Also, I was sick. There was a lot of me not having good energy in it, so like I didn't want to put y'all through nasally stuff. But I worked with Jeff D for New Year's Eve. Like that was the first time I had done like a club New Year's Eve set. Like did we did like 8 shows in like 4 days. Like it was
That's
crazy,
awesome.
like how many shows we did. But we did the big New Year's Eve party, and we did the set and counted down with the whole crowd and shit. And that like it was so much fun.
I would have loved it.
I
Jeff D is one of the funnest people I've done shows with. I usually the last show I did with him I think was Jen Kober's show.
yeah.
Shit, that's another person that's
I
really
can go
good
into
at just.
Dude. There's so many people from those days that have helped me like unbelievably. And Jen's another one. Jen Kober. She's, if you don't know who she is, you should definitely look her up. She's one of the type of people that she's been in 1 or 2 episodes of every TV show. Like
Ever.
she's always doing these little, like, she's got her little arcs and a bunch of different stuff. And she's hilarious. She's from Lake Charles, Louisiana.
And I'll fight anybody in the world on. She has the best Bill Cosby joke, and I'll die on that hill any day of the week. If you listen to Jen Kober's Bill Cosby bit, there isn't a better one.
Look her up. She's from Lake Charles. She lived in LA. She's established. She's the headliner. She tours. She headlines a bunch of clubs. She's always killing colleges. So she one summer got with the LaBerge Casino that just got wiped away. By the way, if you guys want to donate and help all the people in Lake Charles, please do that. And so she had this like summer every Wednesday for a summer. The casino gave her a show.
And I missed it. I missed it by that much.
Yeah, dude. And I drove 2.5 hours to Lake Charles every Tuesday for rehearsal, even though I was just doing a stand-up set. It was an improv and stand-up show. And she put me up for 10 minutes every week in front of 300 people whenever I was maybe 2 years into comedy. Like, definitely,
if that.
Dude, you're right. It was probably, yeah. And I learned so much in that summer. Like there was no other situation where I was going to perform for crowds that big and get to see how to like really work a room. Otherwise, I'd have just been. I love Baton Rouge and I love the comic that it made me or whatever. But I would have forever just been fighting TVs and football games, and there's never more than 17 people. Like, I would have never really got the experience of performing in front of a real crowd without Jen doing that for me.
I think that's one of the reasons I was so surprised to hear you say that Jeff D was headlining in New Orleans, because I can go do a show. I mean, in Chattanooga, because I could go do a show with Jeff down here where they won't turn off the TVs long enough to let us do our sets. And I'm glad to hear that. I totally forgotten about y'all doing those shows together. It's just, you learn so much from the people around you when you do. I remember Jen pulled me aside after a show with her one time and told me basically a better way to tell my joke, but not all. Like, she started me on the path to make the joke better, but didn't give it to me. You know what I mean? It made me work it out. And when I got to it myself, it showed me a new way of getting to a punch, if that makes sense.
For sure. So she's truly great at that. And so that show that I did with her, I'm going to break it down more, I guess. The people that auditioned, like, I was really the only I was the only person that was a comic. There's not a scene in Lake Charles. Like, there's no comics out there. And so a lot of people that auditioned were like people that worked at the hotel and like just theater kids and stuff like that, and they just did like the improv stuff. And so what she would do was she picked out a couple of them that she thought was funny, and were like, "You should try. Like, we're gonna try to get you to do stand up." And that she would have them come on Tuesday. That was the rehearsal day, and they would, and I would do it too. You would fucking do your set for her, whatever you plan to do that week, and then she would you would bounce back and forth, and she'd shoot ideas at you and give you different ways to think about it. Tell you she'd watch your sets from the week before, and she helped me a lot with enunciation because I'm so nobody can understand me. You know what I'm saying? And just
I was gonna. No, go ahead.
Yeah, and just things like she was so great in that way, and she has a lot of heat on her with certain people. She's actually told me be careful just throwing her name out for recommendations and stuff like that. And so like she'll admit like she like jokes about it still, it's fun. And but
I didn't know that.
But I will always defend whatever beef anybody has with her because of what she did for me there. Also, she fucking later on, years later, recommended me for the Burbank Comedy Festival it's in Burbank, California at Flabbers Comedy Club. She recommended me there. I got in on a submission tape. I fucking get best of the fest at that festival and like was able to use that as a credit for it. Like that was from her too. So like all like the most help that I got was like from like the people that I met in Louisiana. It's so weird that like that helped spread out.
She's offered to help me with stuff if I could travel more. She'd throw her,
Mm-hmm.
But I remember last time, we can bring this up. One of the first shows after all the jokes, the stuff in Alabama and all the joke stuff was a Jen Cobra show that you were on. You and Mac McMillan, I think.
Yep.
Couple of people, and I showed up with you, and she said I could be on the show, but I was so new to comedy, and I thought she was such a big, like a big deal that I wanted to tell her like, hey, just so you know, blah 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 blah. I stole jokes, but I don't do this. I don't do it anymore. Now I'm trying to rebuild and I went through the whole fucking thing. And God bless her, she listened to me, and she goes, "Are you funny?" And I said, "I think so." She goes, "It's all I care about."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay." And she goes, "Loosen the fuck up." And right then I was like, "All right, I feel a lot better, a lot better." And then after, when I came off, she told me, "Don't ever do that again."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh," and I thought she meant to her. And she was like, "No, don't ever do that again. Let your jokes and comedy speaks for itself. Because you gave me an impression of you before I ever saw you."
Exactly.
And I was like, "Oh, fuck. All right." And I had never thought of it that. And she's done a lot. Man, it's crazy when you think about how many people have been so helpful to us from here.
Howard Hall, like we were talking about him, I definitely learned a lot of stuff about like how to like stage presence. I learned a lot of stage presence from watching Howard.
Howard, when I was doing my one-liners, I would try to be real animated on stage. I would walk around, I would jump, I would like turn my back, try anything to distract from the fact that I didn't have a lot of material. And Howard can sometimes just sit on a stool, and he has this way of telling a story that you don't look away. He's not acting it out really. He's sitting on a stool, but his stage presence, that's what you watch.
The energy. And
I watched him just in awe of how the fuck is he. If I don't run around on stage and yell fuck at people randomly, they lose interest. And then you realize it's the stage presence and also the material. And he made me want to make my jokes. He has a joke, an ambient joke that's like, it's the longest story with the best callbacks. And just, he made me want to make my jokes longer.
Yeah.
To try to like flesh him out more because of the way that man, that's crazy.
Yeah,
it's a long time.
It's a really long time. Yeah, he has this ability too. We're just gonna. I mean, look,
it's a real deep into baseball. We're blowing everybody we know.
It's our 9-year anniversary, bro. Like we're reminiscing. This is what it is. And so,
we've been friends for a decade.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Almost a decade. That's crazy to me. But at the same time, and I mean this honestly, I can't imagine not having you. You know what I mean? Like at this point, I couldn't imagine you not being. My kids call you Uncle Cheche. I couldn't imagine you not being.
I'm there, bro.
It's a good 9 years. It's been a good 9 years.
Dude, I'm re-up. I re-up. Just keep it
Well,
going.
it's good 9 years. You introduced me. I had never even heard of marijuana until I
That's
met
true.
you.
I forced you. I held you down and made you smoke weed, and you're a better man for it. Now you got tie-dye shirts and stuff. Look at you.
Definitely a better man for it. This is a real deep. I just realized how deep this episode's getting into.
People are gonna love it. They're gonna love it.
They're gonna fucking love this,
dude. You're gonna people listening. You're eating this shit up. I know you are. Okay. No. You're welcome.
I'll tell you a neighbor story.
Josh
Stay tuned. I'll tell you a neighbor story.
He gave you the warning to enjoy this. Okay.
I told you play at half speed.
This is
my bitches.
This is what I was gonna say about Howard. One last time, with just to continue to say how great he is. When people ask me in Seattle, like, who's the guy that like is like the fucking dude like down there that could go in? I always say Howard. Howard's the hidden gem down there that everybody needs to see. Howard has this ability to watch the show, and every joke that you do, he has 3 tags for it. Like
every person that performs,
and he doesn't care. It could be their second time on stage. It could be like some Mike Honore, like people that have been doing it for a long time. And he can recite to you everything you just said, almost better than what. Like, I can't believe how much he remembers in sets. People ask me to watch their set. I will watch their set, and when they come off, I go, "That was good. That was really good, man." And it's like, "Oh, what'd you like?" That one like, I can't even in that amount of time really
I have
remember.
friends I've done comedy with for years, and I couldn't tell you a single one of their bits.
Yeah.
Not fucking one of them. And he remembers like detailed, and it doesn't seem like he's paying attention to the show because he's still talking to other comics and like, not disrespectfully, but it doesn't seem like he soaks it all fucking. I guess that's how you get good like that. I don't know.
Yeah, he's
I just let fucking nerds bully me out of quitting for 3 months and then come back stronger than ever.
Yeah,
like a phoenix, I rose from the ashes. And I wanted to bring it back to
that. Let's go get it. Bruh, what these punk neighbors did, bruh? What'd they do to you?
All right. So, we have these new neighbors that moved in down. I'm whispering like they can hear me. They probably, okay. So we're recording upstairs in my house right now. And every window in our house is open because it's like 58 degrees outside. So we're airing out the neighborhood. But Michelle and I always forget that the windows are open. So we'll just start talking shit or say something real loud, shitty about people, forgetting every window in our house is open.
And their windows are open. It's just,
probably.
Just speaking directly into their living room.
So my new neighbors that moved in, that went door to door and introduced themselves during a global pandemic. So just
great people. Just really like think it through,
Seem nice, but dumb. Well-intentioned, mildly stupid, maybe.
Hey, those people are easy to find,
And so I've started, I've learned how to roll left-handed cigarettes.
You're getting there, dude. It's improving.
I'm a big fan, and it's my favorite way to smoke now. And I was out in my backyard smoking. And I have a fence, so you can't see, but I guess you could see the huge clouds because I gets down. And anyway, so I've been smoking, and I hear like 4 or 5 houses down, somebody say real loud, "Oh, sounds like somebody's having fun or something." Smells like somebody like said very loudly. Like I was gonna be like, "Oh, that's me. Hey, I'm right here, guys.
I'm caught.
You fucking idiot." And then, so in between our houses are like 3 senior citizens' homes. So like, it's a good guess when you go down the street, the guy in the tie-dyed Crocs with the mohawk is probably the guy that has the weed. It's a safe bet. He was walking his kids.
Yeah, you don't camouflage well.
He stopped and said something to me, and I'm being polite because he's got kids around the age of my kids. So I was already outside, so I'll be nice. And I'm conversating with him, letting him conversate with me.
Right.
And then he
coming down to his level.
He said, just letting him think I'm just one of him. And he says something to me about how long have you lived here? 4 or 5 years.
Forever.
And he says,
my neighborhood.
I leaned in real close in front of his kids and said, "This is my fucking neighborhood. You tell them little rugrats that too, all right? They want to ride the wagon down the street. You know who they call and ask permission? Me. Or guess what happens? That wagon winds up floating at the bottom of the pond with a brick tied around it. If you don't want that to be your kids, teach them some goddamn manners next time. Get the fuck out of my driveway. How about that? But he said, so you lived here a while. I said, yeah. And he goes, are you home a lot? And I said, because I already don't like the fucking, what are you, Columbo? You cracking the case? What are you working on? What are you working on, Sherlock, huh?
I don't got to tell you shit.
Grilling me, huh? What is this? I ain't got to tell you shit.
Where's my lawyer?
I ain't telling you shit. That Chris Rock, I think of that Chris Rock sketch.
Turn that shit down.
You ain't got to tell him shit. What the fuck you want, motherfucker? That's one of the funniest sketches I've ever seen in my life. But then he asked me, I was outside the other day and it smells like somebody likes to have a little fun. And look, maybe I do too, you know? And I dead ass was like, what do you mean? And he goes, I smelled, and I'm not giving you a fucking inch. And I said, you smelled,
no
what
selling.
do you mean? And he's like, and I was like,
you got to say it, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know. And he's like, it smelled like marijuana. And the fact that he whispered marijuana at me, I was like, well, I'm never telling this fucking dork anything.
No.
Like, bro, you a cop if I've ever seen a fucking cop. I ain't telling you a goddamn thing, dude. Nuh-uh.
I just saw you whisper into your microphone.
Yeah. That whispering tone, that's a cop whispering into a mic. You ain't taking me down, son. Come on.
You should have took off running the second he was like, marijuana. Shit, bro. And like just took off.
Oh, fuck. We've been made. Slap his baby out his hand and run. I'm going to tell you right now, there ain't no bow-legged, buck-tooth bullshit pussy-ass motherfucker like that dude gonna take down somebody like me. Come on, man. It's Mohawk Meat Castle. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm gonna sit there and say, oh yeah, it's me who does the illegal drugs. Here, you want to come see where I grow them too? Get the fuck out of here. I can smell a pig a mile away. But he did try to talk. And then like, I for real was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, it smelled like somebody was smoking marijuana. And
what?
It's one of my favorite things to ever do. Whenever he said that, I said, how do you know what marijuana smells like?
Telling on yourself. You're telling on yourself right now.
Oh, dude, I fucking loved it. And I said, because I don't know what it smells like. I wouldn't know it if I smelled it, I don't think. And like, I could tell that he was like, oh, all right. And I
should have been like, sir, are you selling drugs?
Yeah. Are you trying to sell me drugs? Bro, Bro. I donate to the policeman's ball. Hey! This dude, his baby's got drugs, y'all.
Damn, a drug babies. I know a drug baby when I see one.
And I think he knows. So he either knows that I dead ass lied to him. Literally between my house and his, the only fence is his and mine. And on the other side of my fence is a giant smoke cloud. So it's not hard to figure out, But
also, you can hear the story right now. And
yeah, I mean, it's on a podcast. You can listen to it. The windows are open. I hope you hear it. It makes me like when people ask me, it makes me want to be like, yeah, you jack off? What hand do you use? What kind of lotion do you like? What's your favorite lotion? What do you want to watch whenever you do it?
Man.
Show me what your face looks like.
I just want to know about you. You know what I'm saying?
Just tell me about it. Do you put your finger in your butt when you do it? Don't fucking ask me about my drugs.
Because that's the exact same thing.
You and your nerd ass little kids. How do I know your kids aren't narcs? Maybe they work for the Junior Pigs of America, whatever them little fucks are in their little bacon outfits. Running around snitching on people.
Came out the womb ratting.
But then today, I was walking my dogs around the cul-de-sac. And that guy's wife and 2 kids were outside, and I had a Huron needle in my arm, right? I had a belt.
Right.
Tied off.
Yeah.
I was tied off.
About to take that little nap. I got you.
And I saw his kids and his wife come outside, and like I had already formed an opinion of them because they're married to that narc ass motherfucker.
Yeah, you're all in this.
Y'all are all narcs as far as I'm concerned. Every one of y'all got a badge. And every one of y'all got a badge and a wire, and I ain't saying shit. But I was walking my dogs around, and I saw, and they're little kids, and he has a little boy who's around the age of mine.
Just the cutest little narc.
Man, they're so fucking cute. They really are cute little kids. And I was walking my dogs, and the kid's eyes got like this when he saw my dogs because Giacomo looks like a Muppet. So he saw him and got real big. I said, "Do you want to pet him?" And before I finished saying, "Do you want to pet him?" he ran up and grabbed Giacomo around his neck, like hugged him, put his cheek right against him, and just hugged him. Excuse me. And just hugged him.
You're getting all
Like, squeeze the
emotional
shit
right
out of him. Yeah, dude. Squeeze the shit out of him. And right then I was like, you know what? I'll smoke weed with this little dude any day.
now. You know who's cool? This kid.
But your dad can still get fucked. But you, I got a blunt in the car. You want to come hit it? You want to come hotbox? You want to come hotbox that radio flyer wagon right there, son? Come on.
But you got to right now.
Right now. Ditch your mom. It's such a weird, I don't think even if, I would never go ask my neighbor, like, it's just weird. Just mind your own fucking business.
Mind your business, dude.
Bro, I got so fucking mad today. You're gonna laugh at this. I hate, we've talked about, I hate people coming to my door.
Right.
Even if they don't ring the doorbell, if I come outside and find a flyer stuck on my door, I get
someone was here.
Fucking livid. And it's irrational. And there's no, but I mean, like, I'll walk outside. If I open my door and there's a flyer stuck on it, I'll walk out to the street and see if I can find you, and I'll walk down and give it back to you. I get so fucking mad about it. It's dumb, and I'm a huge. I've said that before. Yeah, I've done that before. I'm a huge asshole about it, and I don't know why. And every time when the situation over, I was like, I was kind of an asshole on that. Maybe I'll go in the backyard and not smoke weed and feel better about it.
How you gonna feel better not smoking weed?
Today, or yesterday. Before the hurricane, I have out, like, we have a little sidewalk that leads up to our porch and then bushes. And I like to put a little chair right there, like a patio chair right in the sidewalk. So, don't walk around that. If you walk around that chair to get to my door, you had to step into my bushes to get around it. Or you move the chair, and it's clearly a chair there to sit your shit in.
I like this tactic.
So, it got worse, though, because people would go around it. So then I put the chair right in the sidewalk, and then in front of that, I put a bench across the sidewalk so that you would have to go around the bench, move the chair or into the bushes to then get to the door. But yesterday, because there was a hurricane coming to wash us all away, I had to move that stuff. And I shit you not.
And that's the last day of door knocking, is right before the hurricane.
Bruh, when I went this morning to put the bench stuff back in front of the door, some fucking asshole running for judge had stuck his stupid fucking judge flyer on my fucking doorknob like some kind of fucking monster. Just stuck it on my goddamn doorknob. Like my hands don't have to go there to open the door to go outside to get food from my baby's mouths. He's taking food off my table. And
I don't trust his judgment.
Woo.
Honestly, that shows horrible judgment. That's how you don't become a judge.
Exactly. You know what's a big part of being a judge? Judgment. And right now you've proven that you don't have any good judgment. Because, well, actually maybe he does have great judgment because he waited until I moved the bench and chair for a hurricane to sneak his dirty, sneaky, slithering, slimy snake lawyer ass up my driveway and stick his stinky little fucking flyer on my doorknob like I'm gonna vote. Hey, surprise, motherfucker, I ain't even registered to vote. How about that, you dumb bitch? I'm not even legal. How about that?
I saw all the alerts. I don't care, bro. I just kept dismissing them. I don't care. Every app I got.
I'm from Canada.
Tried to get me to register. I'm not doing it. My voice will not be heard, okay?
I almost didn't register a couple years ago because I stay at home with the kids, and if I get called for jury duty or something, I can get out of it, but what do I do for like that day or two? I have to go to the court. But then I found out I had accidentally registered. So
you're in.
I got tricked on Facebook by Voter Die or something. I thought I was going to see some titties, and it turns out I put in my address, and boom. You go to click the button, it's like, here's Daisy Fuentes' butthole, and you click the button, and boom, you're registered to vote.
Hey, you're registered.
Oh,
you got
damn.
Me. Now I'm participating in democracy. God damn.
That ain't Melissa Milano's butthole. Melissa Milano,
ruse.
Whatever. I want to see Joan Rivers Bush.
How how about Lil Wayne just endorsed? I fucking hate that they say celebrities and people endorse. Like, if to me, if you're not a politician, you're not an endorsement. That's just your fucking opinion.
Yeah.
But dude, I've tried to love Lil Wayne my whole life, and he just refuses to return it back to me. I don't
He
understand.
just doesn't want to be loved.
I have supported this motherfucker for so goddamn long. I got all the mixtapes back in the day.
Dude,
I
that dude
got
don't
all
want
the
love.
droughts. I got all of them shits. I tell people about 500 Degrees. I tell people about The Block is Hot. I tell people about whenever he was in fucking Hot Boys. I followed him. I waited for his dumbass to get out of jail. I listened to him go through his fucking auto-tune, crying on the fucking mic phase. I watched him sing with Kid Rock. All of these things. And this motherfucker decided he's not a Saints fan. He's a Packers fan. The year that we go to the Super Bowl, he pulls for fucking Minnesota because Brett Favre was over there. Like, in the
That's
game
a weird...
decides, bro, I'm trying to be done with him, but he's so
you usually
ingrained
can't
in
get
my
Louisiana
life.
out of people, so that's surprising to hear.
Yeah, what the fuck? And then now he's like, I don't know. Trump looked at him and he was like, hey, he's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he gave me attention. And so I don't know. So I'm just disappointed in any person I've ever liked ever. They've all let me down.
You heard 50 Cent? 50 Cent endorsed Trump.
Dude,
and
another
Chelsea Handler said she'd fuck him or something, and then he's like, never mind.
Well, they used to fuck.
She said he pulled his endorsement for him, and she said it was because of her. Good for both of them, I guess. He's a jack dude.
Whatever. They belong together.
Gross or hot. Whatever.
I'm done with
her.
But
I will tell you, the only reason I respect 50 Cent, because he at least flat out said it's about his money and his taxes. Yeah. And like, at least he's not bullshitting and like, I care about, he's like, I want to stay not broke.
This is Mr. Vitamin Water, bro. I get money.
What?
He's Vitamin Water. He made fucking Vitamin Water, sold that shit to Coke for like $100 million. Way back in the day. Yeah.
No shit.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Whenever he was in like those first couple Vitamin Water commercials, it's because it's his fucking thing. He made it, sold it to Coke, made a fucking $1 trillion. Like, yeah.
Fuck, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
Vitamin Water fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's real bad.
That's real bad.
Yeah, but he's a good businessman because he convinced them to buy it. His hype had that thing going.
Michelle drinks one of those Dragon Balls or whatever the fuck it is.
I've seen those. Yeah.
Nah,
I've seen alcohol like that too, where it's just a ball.
Those are good.
Yeah. A buzz ball. That's what they're. Yeah.
We bought those. We bought those on a road trip one time on the way to a Lafayette show or a Lake Charles show somewhere. We bought those. I think I bought them, but we drank them in the car.
That sounds about right.
I miss those road shows, man. I had to recommend. I had to recommend my weed guy this week.
Ooh,
have you ever done that?
I've always been uncomfortable with it, but
it's where you're fucking legal. You could just go buy.
Oh yeah, but back in the day, I was always uncomfortable. Like,
I remember we went one time and you made me wait in the car, and you went inside the house and got weed. It was at your friend's party or something, and you told me to wait outside. I was like, "Oh, your young, cool teenage friends won't be happy with a 35-year-old walking in there. They're not gonna be freaked out by that. They're not gonna think I'm a cop."
Yeah, you stay there, dude. You weren't Mohawk yet. Actually, I don't know. You might like if you walked in like that, like how you dressed right
now. But a friend of mine, and I don't want to have to edit this part out, but a friend of mine was like, "Hey, you have a really
don't
good
say
connect."
Names.
Oh, don't worry. That's part of the story.
Okay.
A friend was like, "You got a good connect," and like I have the best, professional. High quality, fantastic stuff.
You really do. The dude has like a dispensary menu. Like
it's fantastic. You have to.
He's like the food truck of marijuana. Like he's just driving around with everything.
And the dude's a chemist. So tinctures, cookies, all of it, and it's beautiful, and it's legal, and it's the best, and it's better than anybody else said that they would have. All right, it's the best that I'm going to do. I'm going into a Trump.
It's hard not.
But a friend of mine was like, "Do you have a good connect?" And I definitely do. But then instantly, as soon as I said yes, I was like, "Fuck," because I can't just be like, "Yeah, here's his number, call him,"
Right.
because he's a really good connect, and I don't want to fuck myself out of home delivery. Like, I'm not gonna get fucked out of this. So then you have to like do the like you
Oh,
go
he
to
died.
message.
Turns out
You
he
go to
died. Sorry.
So I went through the whole process of how can I get out of this to like I couldn't really think of a way to get out of it. So then I had to message my guy. But then like in the middle of it, I'm like, do I want to vouch? Like I'll vouch for the weed guy. But do I want to vouch for the guy buying the weed?
That's the
To the
other
weed.
thing.
I don't
Yeah.
want to fuck myself, man. This dude makes the best cookies. They're delicious.
Keep that shit to yourself,
and,
man.
And so I didn't.
You
So,
keep that. Don't you tell him to anybody. You keep him. This is your little secret.
But so after like persistent heckling from a dear friend to get my connect, I felt peer pressured. And like I'm not one to give in to peer pressure. But he just wouldn't let it go. And I don't want to fuck myself out of a good connect, but I don't want to fuck my friend out of being mad
being
at
high.
me. I don't want to fuck him into being mad at me.
Yeah, don't fuck him like that, dude.
So what I did was I was like, you know what? I'll give you my Weed Connect's number. But then I gave him the number to my new neighbor down the street that's definitely a narc. And now everybody's in jail.
No problems anymore. Everybody's
And
taken
now
care of.
I just walk up and down my street smoking a blunt without a shirt
Whistling.
on. Whistling.
Oh, the
I
kid's
kick-
like, Josh is coming.
Yep. And they all run
They
and
give
go
you the
hide.
Omar treatment. They throw their action figures at you.
Out of the street for me to pick
Give
up.
them over.
It worked out. It worked out in the end, but I was. And then there was the nervous time of like, while I know that they're talking, I'm just sitting back going, "Don't you fuck me on this one."
I swear to God, you be cool. You fucking be cool.
And then it all worked out great because I'll tell you something. Something that I didn't consider when it comes to being a marijuana salesman is they like to make money selling marijuana.
Yeah, it's a big part of it.
So when I was like, "Hey, here's someone who will give you money for marijuana," he wasn't mad about it.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. He did kill my dogs though for giving his phone number out. So
I mean, that's just the cost of business. We know that.
I get it. I get it.
Right, we know that. All right, guys, we're gonna end it on that, man. Josh, I love you, buddy. 9 years.
I love you
Come
too,
on,
man.
Come
Isn't
on,
that that's
bruh.
crazy, dude?
Come on, bro.
I saw that on Facebook, and it's a cheesy Facebook video. I'm a very emotional dude, and I got a little emotional. I can't believe it's been 9 years. I'm thrilled. I honestly, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I think you make me a better comedian and a better person.
Okay.
And I'm glad that we're friends. And I love you. And let's keep doing this podcast for 600 more episodes. I'm not doing a math joke.
Guys, thank y'all so much. Love you, Josh. See y'all next week.
Duckets.
Duckets.com.
Subscribe and fight.